I got another illustration tutorial for you guys on the iPad using Adobe Illustrator. So without further ado, let's jump into it. We're gonna do a cool lava lamp today. I'm gonna jump right into this. We're gonna grab the rectangle tool from my toolbar on the left. Just start with a basic rectangle. I'm gonna fill this in because it's gonna be a little bit easier to see if I do that. So we'll just start with this like gray color. Throw the stroke up just for now. We'll adjust all this in a bit. What I wanna do is grab my direct selection tool, grab my 2 points at the bottom, hold my little shift bubble, and we're just gonna shift it ever so slightly. I'm gonna take this and duplicate it, come over here to my right hand toolbar, and we're going to flip this. So flip, perfect. Now we're going to slide this over. I think that looks good. We're gonna grab both these layers, come over here to my combine shapes, and we're just going to combine all, convert to path. Just like that, we got a nice little shape right here, and it's nice and even, which is what we want. We'll shrink that down for now, shrink it down a little bit. This is the cool thing about this design that we're doing right here. A lot of these shapes are actually all gonna be recycled, so I can just press the plus right here, shift this down. Again, I'm going to flip this, perfect, and I'm going to do that one more time. We're going to flip it. And just like that, we've already kind of got the shape of the lava lamp going. So obviously this is not what we wanted. We want to adjust some things. So let's do that. Let's take some of our shapes and we're just going to adjust. And you can use the direct selection tool to do some of these adjustments. So that's what I'm going to be doing. All right, I've got all my shapes adjusted the way I think I want them. Don't get too caught up on this step because you can do it all different types of ways. It's really not going to affect the overall look of this. What I am going to do is I'm going to increase my stroke size. So now everything starts looking a little bit more consistent. So now what I need is I need the actual like glass in the inside. So we're going to use the shape again. I told you we're going to do a lot of recycling here, which is actually really nice. So we'll take this and we'll stretch it just a little bit. Let's stretch this up a little bit. Take both of these, come over here. We're going to combine. Perfect. And look at that. We got our nice little glass. Let's grab everything and adjust our stroke size just so it starts looking a little bit cohesive. All right. We're going to line this up, throw this in the background. And you should start seeing how this is going to go, right? We'll widen that just a touch. And I'm just taking my time lining everything up. And just like that, we used one shape to create the overall shape of what we're making. That's kind of the cool thing about Adobe Illustrator is you can just use basic shapes to create all different types of images. One thing I don't like about this is my sharp edges. Personally, it's something I don't like. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab all my shapes and I'm gonna round these edges just a little bit. We'll start with this top shape right here. We'll grab my little corners and just pull them in. So with this shape, I only want to do my top points right here. So I'll grab these and we're just going to roll them in a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing down here with the bottom. But I want to keep these straight so it looks like they're kind of blending. Awesome. And now let's do the glass. And I really just need to worry about these 2 points because the other points are hidden. Awesome. So that gives us the right shape. The more I look at it, I think I want to roll these a little bit. So I'll grab these top 2 shapes. I'm going to roll that just a little bit, have it more like a cap. All right, great. So we've done all this adjusting. We've got everything looking the way we want it. I might stretch it just a touch just to give it a little bit more of that shape that I like. But this is looking great. This is exactly what I want. So now I'm going to come over here to my layers panel on the top right. I'll click the plus button and I'm going to throw this to the background. What I want to do is I want to create a little background. I'm tired of looking at a white canvas. So let's set this to orange maybe. And we're just going to draw out a background. Again, this is on its own layer. Make sure to make it its own layer. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Nice and groovy, right? So what I want to do, I want to lock that layer. Now we'll come back to this layer and let's start changing some colors. So everything here, we have this as like a dark silver, but I want it to be more like a light silver. So we'll change that. Perfect. And then this guy is supposed to be glass and maybe there's like some kind of liquid in it. So let's do like a light blue maybe. Something like that. I think that'll be perfect. Awesome. So you should start understanding the vision I have going for this. What I want to do next is I want to start adding the blobs. This is honestly my favorite part. I think this is where it's going to start actually looking like what we want it to look like. So let's change this inside color to like another orange. And we're just going to have some fun and draw some organic shapes. We're going to use the pencil tool and we're just going to have some fun drawing these shapes. Don't get too rigid with this. Make sure to have some fun with it. That's the whole point of this lava lamp. It's just to be free and expressive. So let's grab all these. I'm going to change this color just a little bit, maybe a little brighter. I'm going to use my simplify path just to make these a little bit more organic. And then we'll take them and we will adjust where they're at. So I want to throw this behind. Same with this guy. Perfect. And I'm actually not liking this one, so let's delete this and let's do one more. I think that one will probably be pretty good. Let's try this one again too. And there's no rhyme or reason to this. It's just, you'll know once you think it looks good. Maybe we'll move this one over just a touch. All right, everything's looking right. The more I look at this, I think I'm going to change this background to like a green. Feel free to do that too if you're following along, but don't if you don't like it. That's all up to you. This is just color theory here. I just wanted to see what it'll look like this. And I like this. So we'll lock that layer. Now what I want to do is come and add another layer. So this will be our highlights layer. So we'll grab our pencil tool again. We don't want a stroke on this. And we're just going to put a highlight everywhere we think it makes sense. So I like to do them on all these little bowls right here, or a little goo, jelly, whatever you call it. I'm just going to throw a nice little highlight. Also, this is middle, so we'll put some on the middle. Cool. So we zoom out, and you should see it gives a nice little highlight effect. And I need to cut this one, so I'll grab my rectangle tool, come over here to my shape builder, and we'll just delete this. Perfect. So now we got nice little highlights. What we want to do next is the same thing, so I'll add another layer, but this time we're going to do shadows. So I'm going to grab my pencil tool again, but instead of white, we're going to do black. And everywhere I think shadows go is where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to have the light coming in from the top left-hand side, which would cast a shadow on the bottom right. Do a nice little curve right here, since this is going to be like a cylinder. And then we'll do the opposite right here. And that should give it like that 3D look. Perfect. So we'll take this whole layer and we're going to drop the opacity. We'll drop it to probably maybe 25%. I think that'll be good. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to add a little bit more texture. So I'll add another layer. And inside of the liquid, I'm going to grab my blob brush. Everywhere I think it makes sense, I'm just going to add a little blob. You can have fun with this. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can come back through and adjust if you did too many or not enough. Don't stress it too much. I'm going to add one more layer. And I'm going to grab my pencil tool. And I'm just going to draw a nice big ellipse right here. And you're probably like, Kill, what are you doing? You're ruining this. Just wait. We're going to simplify this just a little bit. Simplify this shape. Perfect. Round it as much as we can. And then we're going to drop the opacity. Probably to like 70%. And this just helps make this look like glass. That's kind of the idea here. And you don't have to have this step. I think it's kind of fun. But again, yeah, you could choose if you want it or not. What's really cool is once I get this where I like it, I can duplicate this and I can group it together. And then I can put it over here and I can grab all these different orange spots. And if I want this to be like a green version, I can do it just like that. Super easy. Or say I want another one and say I want these to be purple, I can do that too. And as simple as that, we have a nice, cool composition. Now I'm going to come through and just add a couple little flares. These little accents are definitely not necessary, but I think they're fun. They just add a little bit of character to this. Just like that, guys, we got a bunch of cool compositions of lava lamps. If you followed along, I'd love to see yours. I want to see all the different variations, the different blobs, colors. Share with me if you followed along. Well, guys, that's all I got for you. If you liked the video, you already know what to do. Until the next time, peace.